So I go by the name of Speak Williams. I'm a poet, I'm an MC, I'm a speaker, I'm a youth advocate. We come here today for the My Brothers Keepers initiative, and we really come to get into all of the incredible things that you all have been doing. So make some noise for yourselves. Seriously. I know I'm going to keep saying that, but I want y'all to be proud of the things that are happening in Columbus. I want you to be proud of yourselves. It's incredible. I have an incredible journey. I get to go around the country sharing my stories with young people, using my art to inspire, using my art to uplift and to help people out. And so as we go throughout the day, you'll be hearing a lot more from me and a lot more of my art and a lot more of my poetry. So at this time, I would like to go ahead and bring up to the stage Mr. Gene Smith, who's the athletic director of The Ohio State University. He's in his 11th year. He wanted me to keep his bio brief, so I will go ahead and do that. 5 kids. And go ahead and welcome you up to the stage, y'all. Louder than that, louder than that.
Thanks, Keith. How you guys doing? Can you give me an O-H-I-L? O-H? O-H? Awesome, awesome. Well, let me congratulate all of you for being here, and thank you for being here, and thank you, Keith, for that kind introduction and waking us up this morning. Appreciate that. So I'm just going to be brief and just share a couple of words with you, but first and foremost, to really tell you how thankful that I am that you're here. I was fortunate enough to have an opportunity early in my life to be a part of different programs, and I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. Anybody in here from Cleveland? Got some homeboys in here, good. So I had an opportunity to grow up in Cleveland, Ohio, and be a part of some programs that helped keep me on the straight and narrow and gave me opportunities to be able to develop some values in life. And it's important for all of you to make sure that you establish your own values in life. And I'm going to ask the instructors here and the counselors and everybody here who works with these young men to make sure that you work with them on their values. Now, how many of you guys understand what I'm talking about when I say values? Raise your hands if you know. Okay. So what we need to do is work with these young men on their values. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what that means. Your values are things that you stand for, things that are important to you, how you will operate in life, things that you say, no matter what happens to me or around me, nothing changes that. Okay, you guys get me? You guys get me? How many of you play sports? Okay, so you know in sport, when you're in the moment, when you're competing, if you want to be the best that you want to be, you got to bring it all physically, right? And nothing's going to get in the way of that. You're going to win, right? It's the same thing with your values. So one of the things that I always tell people that's important to do is establish what those are. So my number one value is a thing called integrity. How many of you know what integrity means? Raise your hand. Okay, how many of you know what honesty means? Okay, so it's the same thing. Okay, there's a correlation between the two. So my honesty, my integrity, nobody can take away from me. Okay? You guys know the difference between right and wrong, right? So your integrity, you own that. When you lie, you know you're lying, right? And you know doggone well somewhere along the way you're going to get caught. So what do we do? Not lie, correct? Your integrity you own. That's yours. Nobody can take that from you. That's my number one value in life. I will walk away from a job. I'll walk away from money. I'll walk away from anything if it begins to breach my integrity, my honesty, who I am. Okay, you guys got that? Second is family. Okay, my family is my number 2 value. Okay? I will go to the grave for my family. I have 4 children, 5 grandchildren. My 6th grandchild is on the way, and my beautiful wife. I take a bullet for them. I'll go to the grave for them. Okay? I'll walk till my feet are bleeding for my family. You guys get that? Those are two examples of values. Okay, decide for yourself what yours are, because nobody can take those from you. And that helps define how you're going to live your life. Okay, one of the things that you have to do when you have these situations where you have people working with you to try and help inspire you to be the best that you could be, this is part of this program, my Brother's Keeper program, is also accept responsibility. It's not just that they're bringing things to you to help you get better. It's what am I going to do? How am I going to take advantage of today? Okay, and let me give you one thing you should do while you're here today, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult at your age, because I've been there, okay? First of all of you sit up tall and look at me, because a lot of you aren't even paying attention. So sit up tall, look into me. Look at me. Okay, don't look by me, look at me. Okay? When you have a speaker come into this room, whether they're standing up there, standing over there, standing over there, I want you to sit tall and pay attention. It's very difficult to do all morning long. Okay, I get it. Okay? Because what you want to do is take a nugget from each presenter. You want to take one or two things, sometimes three things, that they say that you're going to take to heart, you're going to put between your ears, and you're going to make sure you go do it. Okay, so for me, I want you to take two things: the establishment of values, and the second one is responsibility. I want you to be responsible for taking advantage of this situation, of making sure you get something from today. Okay, it's not about your counselors, your teachers, or anybody else, what they give you. It's about what you take from them. Okay? You guys understand that? When you're playing a sport, when you're competing, and you're competing against someone else, be it basketball, running track, or football, whatever, because you're always competing against someone else, your objective is to beat them. That means you have to take something from them, right? It's no different here, guys. It's no different here. While you have all these experts coming up here talking to you who've been through in your shoes, your objective to get ahead in life is to make sure you soak up everything that you can. Because life is hard, gentlemen. Life is very difficult. And you have people who are committed here to help you understand how to get through life so that you get to a point in life where you can live the life that you want to live. You guys get that big picture? Get to a point where you can get to life to live the life you want to live. And that might be when you're 25, that might be when you're 30, that might be when you're 35. I know it's hard for you guys to think about, but you will be there. And you want to have every tool in your toolbox to make sure you can do what you want to do in life. So I want to thank you for listening to me. I want to thank Keith for waking us up. I want to wish all of you the best and make sure that you do everything that you can to take advantage of all the opportunities that are presented to you so that you can ultimately one day live the lifestyle that you want to live. OH! OH! Go Bucks. Thank you, guys.
Next, who I would like to bring to the stage actually needs no introduction whatsoever. He was first elected in 1999. He's the longest-running mayor in the city of Columbus, and he's also the longest-running African-American mayor. He's responsible for several initiatives in the city of Columbus, the only mayor I remember growing up in my lifetime. So if you could please stand to your feet, make some noise for our very own Mayor Coleman.
Thank you. Thank you. Please sit down. I appreciate that very warm introduction, Speak. And you all are marvelous. It's great to see all of you this morning. And I want to thank Gene Smith. He's one of the great ones in our community. And listen to every word he has to say. He runs all the athletics at The Ohio State University. And he has worked hard to achieve the pinnacle of athletic directorships in the entire country is right here at The Ohio State University, and he's the man. So you listen to him. He's the man. Urban Myers listens to Gene Smith. Let me get you right. Urban Myers reports to Gene Smith. Thad Matta reports to Gene Smith. And all the coaches at Ohio State report to this man. He's the man. We're proud of him. Let's hear a round of applause for Gene Smith. I want to thank all of you for being here. Speak, you're great. I wish I could do that one day. You have to train me up. You think I can do that? No. How many of you think you could do that, what Speak has done? Raise your hand. You think you could be that good? Huh? I know you do. Where? Over here? I'm going to have to hear you before the day's out. You put your hand up, I'm going to have to hear you before the day's out. Because his Speak is the man as well. So, you're here for MBK. That's my brother's keeper. And we are all brothers, and we are all keepers of each other and for ourselves. And you see, life is about opportunities and the choices we make. Opportunities and choices. So MBK is about opportunities. We're giving you opportunities that you earn, but you need to choose to take advantage of those opportunities. Opportunities and choices. We have all kinds of choices in life. We can choose one road versus another road. And the road you choose will be the road that you will live the rest of your life, so choose the right road. Today and in the past and the future, we're going to give you opportunities. And so, during my time as mayor, we've worked on a lot of initiatives during this period of time. It's been a long time, too, 16 years. How many of you are 16 years old? Since you were born, 15, 17, 18? All right, very good. 14, 13, 12. No, did I miss somebody? Herschel, did you just raise your hand? We have programs like the African American Male Initiative, applications for purpose, pride, and support called APPS, City Leaders and Capital Kids, Restoration Academy, all great programs. The African American Male Initiative is involved in creating mentorship opportunities for young people. APPS is about getting in front of violence in our neighborhoods. City Leaders is about creating leaders in our community. Capital Kids is an after-school program. And Restoration Academy is about those who made the wrong choices in life. They went to prison, got out of prison, and we work to get them back into the mainstream of society. And they're restoring themselves and restoring the community in the process. And MBK, my brother's keeper, is about taking care of each other and making the right choices in life. And so the president reached out to me and others around the country and said, Mayor, let's reach out to our brothers in our country. Reach out to our brothers in the city of Columbus and bring them in and start talking about opportunities and choices in life. And so I said, Mr. President, we'll do that. And I reached out to Shannon Hardin. Councilmember Shannon Hardin is here, right back there, I think. I can't see that well. Everybody looked around and said, hey, Councilman Hardin. And to pull together a task force to reach out to folks all over the community to address the needs, what we have to do with MBK to make our lives better in the city of Columbus. And so the task force focused on a couple of things. Workforce development, that means jobs, skills, and opportunities. Preventing community violence and promoting safety, that's easy. How do we prevent violence and how do we promote safety among each other? And so Councilmember Hardin will be speaking about what the report and recommendations detail and how that all has come about. So the next step after a report comes out, and this today, we have copies of them on your desks in front of you. It'll create a framework by which we can move forward to create additional resources and opportunities for which you can make the choice to engage or not. My hope is you make the right choice. There's really only one choice to make, and that's the right choice. I want you to be successful in life. You have every opportunity to be successful in life. You got to choose the right thing every occasion. And so this is a great step for you to be here this morning and to be here the rest of the day, because you're going to hear from some great folks. You're going to hear from Dr. Michael Drake. Do you know who Dr. Michael Drake is? Dr. Michael Drake is the president of The Ohio State University. He's the first African-American president at this great university. You need to meet him because he's a bad brother. We want to grow up to be just like him and Gene Smith. They do a lot for a lot of people. You need to meet him. You need to see him. You need to make him a role model in your life. He's going to be here today to talk to you. So I'm so glad that you were here. I'm excited about your presence. We're going to make this a great day for each and every one of you. So Speak, I'm going to turn this back over to you. And welcome to The Ohio State University. Welcome to MBK.
All right, y'all can do better for that. Y'all can do better than that. Make some noise for Mayor Coleman. Listen, I have to tell you, I've had the, I've been blessed and fortunate enough to travel around enough, travel around the country, spend some time in some other cities doing work with youth and doing work in the arts. Me and my partner, Javier. Y'all know Javier? Javier Sanchez? Okay. So that's my guy. He's one of the friends and mentors in my life that actually gave me a passion for young people. And one thing you may not recognize about the city of Columbus is that there's a lot of initiatives here to help young people. You go to some places, you go to a Baltimore, a Philly, you go to just other places, and you see that the government in the city has not really gotten behind their youth in a way that provide them opportunities to have access to the mayor, to have access to a Gene Smith. You're in the same room with these people right now. But as stated, you have to do something with that. You have to make yourself known, and you have to connect with not only them, but the other people that you will be hearing from throughout the conference. I would like to bring another person to the stage, Council Member Shannon Hardin. Shannon Hardin was elected 2014. He's appointed to the City Council. He has a BA in Morehouse. He's traveled abroad studying in Kenya, Nairobi. Good guy, solid guy. I met him while I did some work for the APPS program that the mayor spoke about, and I really got to know him. I have great respect. If y'all could please clap your hands and give it up for Mr. Shannon Hardin.
Started from the bottom, now my whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team.
Good morning, brothers. Wow, that's kind of loud. So before we get started, I wanted to do a roll call because I just want to see who is in the house, who is represented here. So I heard that South is here. All right, they told me that some folks from up north, Linden, is here. All right, all right. Well, they're on the way. So what about Walnut Ridge? All right. What about West High School? Is Northland here? All right. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Speak. My name is Shannon Harden. I had the honor to serve on Columbus City Council. This is so special to me because when I see you guys, I see me. I grew up in Southfield. I still live on the south side of Columbus. And to be able to be a council member, going through Columbus City Schools and serving the city where my entire family is so special to have this conversation with you guys today. And today is about you. We, over the last year, went out and talked to over 500 young men that look just like you. We talked to community members, community leaders, to see what are the barriers to success, what opportunities do you need so that you can be successful. And so we have a report, and I'm supposed to go through the report, but it's actually 30 pages long. And so I'm not going to do that. I just want to leave you with two things. One is that you have been heard. Like I said, for the past year, we went out and we had community forums at your high schools over the summer, and we listened, and what is in this report is a direct reflection of what we heard from you guys. And number two is that this city has your back. That's why we are here. Can we have all the mentors, everybody who came out, the adults that came out to support these young men, stand, and let's young men, let's recognize these folks. These are the folks, they have your back. You have in this room, and you will hear, like the mayor said, you had the greatest mayor in the country who was here spending time with you, who is committed to making sure that we all have opportunity. You have a state representative, Mr. Herschel Craig. Representative Craig, would you stand to be recognized? Who is here for you. You have Police Chief Bash. Would you stand to be recognized? You have all these folks. You hear from Dr. Drake, and the mayor touched on it a little bit, but Dr. Drake is the president, the African-American president of the largest university in the country, who's coming to speak to you guys. He's coming here for you. And so I want you guys to know that you have been heard, that this is our commitment, the city's commitment to you. One of the things that you guys said, and that is reported and that's coming out in the report and recommendations, is that you want to be involved in policy in those conversations. So one of the recommendations that we will bring before City Council, so next week, I'm going to introduce a resolution to council that I'm going to ask my colleagues to support to adopt these recommendations, is that we need to make spots on different boards, commissions at City Council so that you guys can come and be a part of the decision making that affect your lives. So that's one of the things that we directly heard from you. So. We will also continue to have these town hall meetings. We can't take for granted that we know what's best. The things that we heard from those conversations, some were new to us, and hearing it from you made all the difference. So, like I said, the two things that I want you guys to take from today is that we heard you and that we have your back. Continue to do well, brothers. Thank you.
I would like to introduce someone who was made mention of earlier by our mayor, Dr. Michael Drake. Dr. Michael Drake is the current president of The Ohio State University. Having worked in higher education for over 3 decades, Dr. Drake is passionate about providing access to an excellent and affordable education and celebrating diversity. As he just told me, we can always make school cheaper, but it's the excellence that he likes to push, quality and excellence. Under President Drake, the university launched the President's Affordability Grant Program, which provided $15 million in needed-based grants to more than 12,000 low and middle-income students. Just make some noise for that alone. That means when you apply for school, if you apply to The Ohio State University, there's been someone who has made sure that there are resources and money that's available to help you out so that college is not a burden and it is an option for your future. So that's amazing. The overall goal for the grant program will be to increase scholarship support by $100 million by the year 2020. Although he is a New York City native, Dr. Drake has always maintained a fondness for Ohio, as his mother grew up and graduated from high school in Youngstown. Now he and his wife, Brenda, live in Columbus. This is President Drake. I want y'all to make some noise from him. He is the president of The Ohio State University. Make sure y'all give him a warm welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very nice to see everyone here today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And real nice to have you here on campus. Nice to have you here in the Archie Griffin Ballroom, which is a great place. Events like this are really important because they get a chance to show us all that there are people who care about us and who want us to do well, that there are people there who are reaching a hand out to help us get across the gulfs that are in front of us and to try to make this all work well for us. So I think that's really nice for us to be able to do this, good for us to be able to have an event like this on our campus and to have you all here today. I want to make sure I thank a couple of people, Councilman Hardin and Mayor Coleman. A round of applause again for them for the My Brother's Keeper initiative. Mr. Councilman, there you are. Great. Thank you. And I just want to say a couple of things about leadership and opportunity and about college. I did an outreach when I was in college. With some of my colleagues to a community near where I was in college to talk about why students who were in high school should think about going to college, why one would aspire to going to college in the first place. And what I said to that group then, I was 20 years old, I would say, was that college was a really wonderful opportunity for you to be able to plan and to invest your own energy into your future. I didn't know the details of what that meant. I knew that being in college was great, that I was supported in college. I met wonderful people in college. I got to do things that I enjoyed in college. It was really a wonderful place to be. And if you ask students who are here at the college today, if you just walked out the door and down and just walked up with one of them and asked. In fact, I was in this room last week for a banquet. And I had a student sitting at a table, probably one of these tables actually, sitting at a table with me, and I asked her to rate her college experience. And I said, and there was a lot of noise in the room, so other people around us couldn't hear. So although we were in a room with a few hundred people, it was a quiet, private conversation. And I said, so how would you rate your college experience? And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, on a 1 to 10 scale, just how would you rate your college experience? And she thought for a minute, looked down and looked at me and said, I'd give it a 20. And that was actually, I was hoping for 11, you know, and the 20 was really great. And what she was saying is that it was a truly wonderful, truly enriching, truly supporting experience for her. And she was feeling good about her life and where her life was going, and this community helped that to be the case. And so I appreciate how much students enjoy the experience of going to college while they're here, and I appreciated that when I was a college student. We had another talk yesterday, some data from the Gallup organization, they do political polling and all. And Gallup had interviewed 70,000, did a survey of 70,000 of our alums. We have 500,000 alumni, so we have a lot of alumni. So they did an interview of a fraction of them. And what they looked at was they measured things that the alumni felt about the way their lives were working. And there were 3 or 4 things that are really important to us to learn about that. If people raised their hands and said, why do you go to college? There are a couple of reasons that parents and college-age students or high school students mention as reasons they want to go to college. And those reasons are, they say, gee, I want to get a good job. It's a good thing, and college actually helps you to get a better job. Some people say, I want to earn more money, and generally with those jobs, you earn more money. What the study found was that there were other things that college provided that were, in fact, even more important to those people than where they were working or how much they were getting paid. What it found generally is that the people who'd gone to college were more, I use the term engaged, were more engaged in their lives. They were happier with their friends and family. They felt more supported by friends and family. They felt that what they did every day made a difference in a different way than people who hadn't gone to college. Those of you who are talking about something else, I'd like you to pay attention while I'm here talking to you, okay? I mean, I think this is, I'm saying things that I believe are actually important. And I'll say if you can pay attention for a few minutes, that might help you to get to something that might be better for you. And what I'm saying is that people who had done this had lives that worked better for themselves and for their families years into the future. And then we did other studies looking at going to college and what difference that made. And what we found is actually it extended your life. You lived longer if you'd gone to college. That having a college degree extended your life expectancy. And in kind of a magical way, if anybody's a statistician, you actually lived more years longer than the years you spent in college. You go to college for 4 years, you live 5 years longer. So there's a real bonus there somehow. There's very little in the world that works that way. And so the quality of your life, the length of your life, how healthy you are, how connected you are and supported you are by your family, how engaged you are in your community, the sense that you have on a daily basis of making a difference to people that are around you, to be involved in things that you think are important and making a difference. Those things were enhanced dramatically for people who'd gone on to higher education. So I would just say, as you're thinking about it now and looking for your own life and going forward, this is not a subtle thing. It's not. It's something that's where there's a better outcome and an outcome that's not as good. Doesn't mean if you don't go to college, you can't be happy, and you can't have a family that loves you. You can't do things that are wonderful. You can't be productive. All those things are possible. It means that a college degree makes the chance that those things are going to happen and be a part of what your life is about. It makes that chance much, much greater. So that's just something to plant, to say that the benefits last for the rest of your life and actually help the lives of your children and grandchildren going forward. And there's something that people who experience it love. And then as we measure, those people, when they go out into the world, they are connected to the world and enjoy the world in a way that makes a difference. So I think that that's just, that's a good thing. We loved hearing about that because we want to see want to see if there's value in what we do. And seeing that the impact that it has on the lives of the people that we've affected was something that was really, really important. And I want to say something about leadership and guidance and moving forward, something I know is real important to the mayor and the councilman and others who are here, the principals who are here. I have two sons, and one was an athlete. One was a cross-country and track runner. He was a good athlete. He was All-American. He was a state leader. We were in California, but he was the fastest miler in California when he was in high school. So he was a real runner. He ran in college. His team was national champions twice. So he was a good runner. And what it meant was, particularly when he was in middle school, he was 11, 12 years old, 13 years old, he'd run in races in different places. And in cross country, it's not, you don't go just around in a circle, you're going right out into the woods. How many people here are runners of one kind or another? People run track or cross country? That's great. So he tended to run distance rather than shorter races. And you'd run in cross country, you'd run out into the woods and come back. And he was, as I said, a good runner by chance, and so he would almost always, be in the front. So he's running along with everybody in back of him. And I used to really enforce with him that you have to know where you're going if you're the one who's out in front, because everybody else is, you have nobody to follow, nobody to chase. You have to know what the guideposts are, know what to look for, have an idea what your plan is, so if you're going to be a leader. And that was something and he most of the time did that. Every once in a while he'd be chewing bubble gum and run off into the woods, we have to go out and find him. But for the most part, he did a good job of that and just knew that when he was going to be up front, going to be a leader, going to be somebody to do things to be out front, he had to know where he was going and to have a plan. And if I can say anything that I found useful I've had a couple of positions that leadership, and one of the thing that was most important to me in those positions of leadership was to know what was important to me, to have my own values with me all the time, to know the difference between right and wrong, and know when I was doing my best and when I wasn't doing my best. And what I found was that I didn't have to listen to anybody else. I just had to pay attention to myself. And if I allowed myself to be guided by my own values, here's good, here's not as good, and lean myself toward good, then when I stopped to look back at where I was, it was a place that I wanted to be. When I didn't do that, I wasn't where I wanted to be. It was a pretty straightforward thing, that following your own values, following your own principles, being your own best person, takes you in places step by step where you want to be. And if you don't do that, you find yourself sometimes saying, my goodness, this isn't what I want. So I would just encourage you to think about your own values, what's important to you, why it matters, and then be the person who's doing those kinds of things. I don't know if this is an analogy that works. You go to a movie sometimes, and you're watching characters in a movie, and the character's about to do something that you know that he or she shouldn't do, and you go, oh, don't do that. That's not going to work. And the character does it, and it doesn't work, or the character does what you'd want him to do. We're all in kind of our own lives, and we're always on our own shoulders saying, don't do that, or hey, that's a great thing to do, I ought to do that. And I think that if you can use your own values to guide you that way, bit by bit, you just find that you are in good places and things keep opening up for you. I'd say, just if I may be personal for a moment, that my own career has had great opportunities. I work hard. It's not downhill, but they've had great opportunities, and routinely, I'm not planning on them or thinking they're going to happen or doing something to make something happen. I just try to do a good job every day, and what I find is that doors open up, that people call you, people give you opportunities, people ask if they can work with you on doing things, and then you do something, and then another door opens up. And so I just would encourage you to know your values, know what's important to you, why that's important, and continue to remind yourself that you know what to do and how to do it, and then make that be what you do. We had a great week this week. We had on Monday night we had the Cavs play the Grizzlies here at Ohio State in a preseason game. We had Mike Conley, who was a Buckeye, come, and Mike's been terrific. He's donated money back to the campus and allowed us to build some strength and training facilities, which are great. And then we had LeBron James, who I told him he still has eligibility, so he still may be a Buckeye. We'll see how that goes. But LeBron, who's been really a wonderful supporter of multiple programs, including University of Akron, where he's from, where he's supported college-going programs for students to be able to do that. And he understands the importance of giving back and helping there be a pathway forward. My Brother's Keeper as a program understands that as well. You heard mentioned earlier that we've done something here, which is that we've created some affordability grants, and we were able to put $15 million into those affordability grants and put that money directly into pockets of our students this year. We're going to do that again next year and try and, in fact, increase those, because we want college to be affordable and accessible for our students, particularly from lower and middle income families. We made a great contribution there. And so with people who are out in the world being successful, like Mike Conley and LeBron James, with people here on the campus who care about creating opportunity, we want to make it that everyone with the drive and the focus can come and be here at The Ohio State University or another comparable university and have really a great life because of that. So that's something that's happening that we think is really important. I think I also want to say that life has ups and downs, that there are things that work really well and things that require a little bit of effort. But by kind of pointing yourself in a direction and continuing that direction going forward, you'll find that you're able to take those bumps like a shock absorber rather than tripping over them like someone who wasn't prepared. And I think, again, all of us working together on helping all of us is the best way that we can move forward in that realm. Finally, I want to say that there's a great comment that I heard when I was about your age or so. And the comment was a little younger, I think, than maybe some of you here, but this was a comment when in the 1960s, when the nuclear test ban treaty was being signed with the Soviet Union. And someone was saying, gosh, it's just one treaty, it's not enough, there's still this great risk out there. And it was John Kennedy speaking. He said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And one of the great things about that statement was that wherever we are on any particular given day, we have a chance to launch ourselves into the future and in the direction that we want to go. And the thing that we can do in that one moment is make that a good moment leading to the next moment, just a single step moving forward. And your wisdom and your planning and your focus and your knowledge and your connectedness to be here today shows that you understand that taking those steps is the best way to get to where you want to be down the line. So first, I, again, for the final time, want to make sure I thank everyone who's involved with putting this program together, the mayor, the councilman, the principals, all the people here who are hosting us and bringing us all together, that it's very important for us to be able to have this time together, and appreciate all the work that went into putting us here. And then particularly to the students to say that you are taking that step, that today is the next step on getting the future to be the place that you want it to be, and making yourself the person you want to be, making yourself the man that we know you can be. And I'm pleased and proud to have you here and be a part of all that. Let me say thank you very much for being here today, and go Bucks.
I want to leave y'all with this, and then we'll dismiss. Holding on to the vision, even when it's impossible to see. Something in my heart telling me it's possible for me. Because Christ walked on water, didn't sink. Though I'm not he, is it illogical to think that I can feel the air on the bottom of my feet, and I can live my dreams even when I'm not asleep? Honestly, the answer gotta be more than probably. I know it's calling me to get more up out of me. I know it's alive in me. I know it's watching me. So when I speak, I know it's prophecy. That means I bring it to pass, grab a hold of the future and relinquish the past. Staircase to the dream, my feet on the path. I'm going to the place where the dreamers are at. I'm leaving, in fact, there's no reason to pack. I'm leaving my bags behind so I can walk the sky. And I'm going to do something I ain't never did. Go somewhere I ain't never been. Say something I would never say. And I'm going to make a song I would never make. Thank y'all so much for y'all's time.